slip stitch. This is also, these two hand sewing stitches, even slip and the uneven slip, are both two very, very, very important hand sewing stitches, which you are going to do in every level of sewing. In almost every project we do, if we hand sew, it's either they're the uneven or the even slip. The even slip, which we just did, even stitches on both sides, that is typically used to join two folds together, like when we make stuffed animals and you're trying to close the hole that you left open for stuffing the animal. This one here is going to be the blind hem stitch that you would use on like a pair of pants. So I put my thread into the fold just like we did with this last one. I'm going into the fabric behind it just like we did last time, but because it's uneven, I'm only taking a tiny bit of fabric on the back side. See that? You can barely see the needle. Whereas on the other one, you could see a long stitch. This one you'll just see like a dot of a stitch. So take just a tiny bit of fabric behind, but on the front side is where the uneven comes in. We're gonna go into the fold where we came out, just like we did with the last one, but we're gonna go across it just like we did with the last one, about 1/4 of an inch, so that this doesn't take us a million years to sew. So now that I'm in my fold, I'm going to the fabric behind it, taking just a tiny bit of the fabric, so you can barely see that fabric or that thread from the other side. And then when we come into the fabric or the fold in front here, we're going to go into the fold and go across it 1/4 of an inch. So 1/4 of an inch, a dot, 1/4 of an inch, a dot, 1/4 of an inch, a dot. So coming into the fabric behind, just a tiny bit. Then going to the fabric in front, 1/4 of an inch. Fabric behind, a tiny bit. Fabric in front, 1/4 of an inch. Behind a little bit. In front, 1/4 of an inch. Behind, just a tiny bit. In front, 1/4 of an inch. And I'll show you what it looks like on the other side. See, you just see some dots, and in fact I could be making these even smaller. It's easier to sew this when you're not sitting at a really awkward angle trying to show the camera how to sew it. Just saying. So go into the fabric in front, 1/4 of an inch. Back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. We're almost there. Back, front. This time, well, first of all, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back. Just dots. They could be even smaller again. This time, I'm going to knot it off right here underneath this fold. So we're just going to take our needle, put it in the fabric just a little bit. Right where this fabric is coming out, you just wrap it around your needle 3 times. Hold on to that with your thumb so it goes nowhere. Grab onto the pointy side and just pull it like that. That's it, we're knotted. Now you can cut the string. And my tension on this one's a little bit off. I should have made this nice and flat by just pulling on it before I knotted it off. Make sure you do that. And then this one is going to be U-E-S for uneven slip. Put it in your bin.